Today we are going to discuss the open market operation by the central bank, which is called OMO in short. Let's begin. See, what is this OMO, open market operation? Open market operation means the deliberate and direct buying and selling of securities in the money market by the central bank. Now, this operation is carried on by the central bank. Does this? It purposely, deliberate means upon which voluntarily with a vision does buy and sells the securities. It directly comes in the money market to buy and sell the securities in the money market. This whole conduct is carried on by the central bank. In the narrow sense, open market operation refers to the purchase and sale by the central bank of what? Of the government securities in the money market. When the need arises and the central bank thinks it proper, it will definitely come to buy and to sell the securities. Which securities? The government securities. The central bank lands up itself in the money market. Now, in the broad sense, open market operation implies the purchase and sale by the central bank of. Now, here I would like to say that elaboratedly, it is not only government securities, it can be of any kind of eligible paper. The central bank will purchase and sell any kind of eligible paper. It could be government securities, it could be bills and securities of private concerns, etc. Next, open market operation is the activity of buying and selling of government securities in the open market. 2. Now, what is the purpose behind it? Why does the central bank do so? It does it to control the supply of money in the banking system, in the economy. How to control the supply of money. So, the basic motive of the central bank in doing all this open market operation is to control the money supply. When there is excess supply of money, the central bank sells the government securities. As a result, it sucks out the excess liquidity. When the central bank realizes that there's a lot of money supply in the market, what will it do? It will sell the government securities and the excess liquidity is sucked, it is absorbed. So the problem of excess of money supply gets solved when the central bank sells these government securities. Now, opposite case, when the liquidity is tight, when it is opposite to the above, liquidity is tight, right? The central bank shall buy the government securities. It will do just the opposite, the reverse case. Here the money supply was excess, so it will sell off. When the money supply is less, that means when the liquidity is tight, it will buy. As a result, the money supply is injected automatically in the economy. When the central bank will buy the government securities, money supply is injected. Excess of money supply takes place. So the shortage is met. Next. Now, what does this open market operation cover? Open market operation covers the sale and purchase of government securities, just like I said before, of course, and of equities. Central bank can buy and sell equities as well, gold and foreign exchange, government guaranteed securities, and even municipal securities. So the open market operation conducted by the central bank covers this. OMO includes purchase and sale of government securities for injecting liquidity and for absorbing liquidity. So the basic purpose of the central bank in conducting this operation, either it could be to inject liquidity into the market or to absorb excess liquidity from the market. Now, what does OMO affect? What happens? Like what two variants does it control? OMO varies the total amount of money in circulation. So either the central bank may buy the securities or it may sell the securities. What effect will it take place? It will affect the total amount of money in circulation. Secondly, OMO also affects the power of banks to create more credit. So the magic wand lies in the hands of central bank. how to manipulate these two things, these two variants with the help of open market operations. Number one is the total amount of money in circulation, and number two is the power of banks to create more credit. Let us elaborate. Now, what happens when the central bank purchases the securities? In the previous two slides, I told you that it purchases to do this. Let us discuss it in steps now. When the central bank purchases the securities, it will inject more money into the circulation. Because the central bank is purchasing the securities, it will give away the cash and it will take away those papers of securities. So when the central bank gives away, in exchange for the securities, it gives away the money. So central bank injects more money into the circulation. Right? Now, supposingly you purchase a laptop, you take laptop home and you give away, shed off the money. Similarly, central bank will shed off the money and take the securities. With the result, it will inject more money into the circulation. I hope it's clear now. Those who sold the securities will definitely deposit the sale proceeds into the bank. Now they got the money, the people who sold the securities, what will they do with that cash? They will deposit that sale proceeds into the commercial banks. This increases the cash reserves of these banks, which is very natural, which will in turn increase the legal tender currency. Hence, increase in the power of banks to create more credit. So the question says, what happens when the central bank purchases the securities? Ultimately, we end up saying that it increases the power of banks to create more credit. This step-by-step detail is very important to learn and to understand. Next. Now, what happens when the central bank sells off the securities? This is just the opposite of the previous slide. Now, when the central bank will sell off the securities, it will give away those securities in paper and take away the cash. Central bank will take away the cash. This leads to absorption of excess money in circulation, which is very natural. People will shed off their money, right? So the excess money leads to absorption of excess money in circulation, which will in turn, the purchasers of securities will withdraw the deposits. Now to pay the cash for buying the securities, people are buying, central bank is selling the securities. Please don't get confused. Central bank sells of the securities and who is going to buy it? The people. So how will they pay? The purchasers of the securities have to shed off their cash, which they will withdraw the deposits. Now, where will they withdraw the deposits from? The commercial banks? The deposits of the banks will decrease. This will lead to the decline of cash reserves of the banks. Very natural. Then, in turn, the amount of legal tender currency will contract and the power of banks to create more credit will reduce. So please understand these steps and then memorize them. Don't get confused. If you just mug up, if you will do the ratta type of a thing, you will not be able to understand anything. So please go step by step and then understand. I hope you understood the whole article. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. You feel free to comment in the comment box. Stay safe, stay blessed.